afternoon, everybody. We are so happy that you were able to join our webinar today with American Business Systems. We are really looking forward to this one. We've got a lot of good information that we're going to be sharing with you today and get very, very specific about what kind of revenue that you can make in this business and what kind of expenses you should expect. And we're going to talk about the kind of money that you can make. We're going to be talking about the amount of savings and revenue increases that doctors are seeing across the country with some of our systems. So we're going to show you how everybody benefits with the programs and services that we have that we're going to show you. We're going to talk about today. So if you are hearing me, that's awesome. And if you can hear me, I would love to know that you can hear me. So if you've never been on one of these, or if you've been on a million of these, there's a little control panel for GoToWebinar where you can type in questions. If you can hear me, you can let me know that I'm not just talking to myself. That would be awesome. All right, Nevin says, looking good, sounding great. Thank you very much, sir. Anybody else? Anybody else? Oh, okay, there we go. Tracy says I can hear you. All right, thanks, Tracy. Appreciate that. I got a new microphone, a fancy microphone. I don't know if it's sounding great or not, but I guess we'll find out when we watch the recording of this. So anyway, I can hear you. You guys can hear me. I can't hear you, but that's fine. Autumn says I can hear you. Okay, great. We're going to go ahead and get this thing kicked off. I am Adam Phillips. I am the CEO of American Business Systems. And the slide should be changing here momentarily, and you can see, there we go. There's my my mug there. I'm the CEO of American Business Systems. I got a promotion a year or so ago. I've kind of taken over the reins. This is a family business that was actually started by my parents, and it was actually started 27 years ago, believe it or not. So we've been doing this for a long time. Even prior to this company being formed, they actually started as their own small medical billing company under a different name, and they were working from home. So they were doing, my mother and father were doing essentially what you guys are able to do, except you guys are going to have way more tools and services and things at your disposal. But they had to kind of navigate all of the stuff that we help you with now. So they had to figure out, how do we, find doctors? How do we get them interested in working with us? How do we get them, how do we gain their trust? So there was a lot of stumbling blocks that they had to go through, and a lot of marketing techniques that did not work. And so it was quite a bit of a struggle doing it on their own. And that's what a lot of people do. A lot of people try to save money by, taking some cheap, medical billing course online, and maybe coming up with their own marketing materials on their printer or whatever, which you can do. But the problem is when you actually get down to the nitty gritty of how to market and find clients and figure out what kind of doctors are going to be good clients and which ones need the most help and all that, it's really, really, really difficult if you're doing it alone and you don't have any partners like what we have. So I think I mentioned I actually joined the company about 15, 16 years ago. So I've been doing this for a long time. And like I just mentioned, we've grown this business opportunity into a comprehensive suite of solutions. So, back in the 80s, my parents were just doing medical billing. That's it, which is great. I mean, you can make good money helping doctors with their insurance claims. But as you can see from this really, really cool picture here with all these boxes, we have a lot of different services and solutions outside of the insurance claim part that you can make money on each and every one of these. And this is actually just the tip of the iceberg. We have several other services on our support site that we teach you that are not even listed, shown on this picture here. So a lot of different revenue streams for you, recurring revenue streams. That's really a business that you want to get involved in, is something that has recurring revenue, where you don't have to keep reselling things to people. I mean, if you sign up a doctor with our help and you provide good customer service, they love the technologies that we have. They love the software systems. They see excellent results. So if you're combining that with excellent customer service, you are going to have a client for life. You're going to have a doctor that's paying you every month for the work that you're doing, and you don't have to keep reselling anything to anybody. Sounds good, right? Well, let me move on here. If you have not done this yet, you need to get access to our virtual brochure that we have, and you can actually get to that very easily by going to our website, which is absystems.com. When you go there, you'll see up in the top right corner, there's an orange button where you can click to get access to our virtual brochure. The reason why you want to do this is because this will give you access to much more detailed information than what's on the website. It goes into a lot more detail. As a matter of fact, if you fill out that form, that little form that you see there, when you click access my brochure now, you'll get immediate access to the brochure, which also allows you to download a research guide that we're going to talk about in a little bit. But we have a 50-page PDF document that goes into a lot of detail on this industry, why you would want to be in it, all the services and solutions that you have, you know, how they work, how much money you can make on each service, what your revenue is versus your, you know, expense, you know, cost potential on each one of the services. So it goes into a lot of detail, but we're actually going to cover a lot of that today as well. So the title for today's webinar is Revenue and Expenses, How to Launch a Financially Successful Medical Billing Business. And that's a key word, financially successful, because like I mentioned, there's people all over the country that start medical billing businesses on their own, and they have no idea what they're doing. I mean, they may have a lot of technical knowledge, you know, they may get a certification of some sort on billing or coding or something like that, but there's no company out there that focuses on connecting people with top of the line technologies and things that like what we have done, and really helps them very heavily on the marketing side. There's nobody out there doing it like what we're doing. So I have on the webinar with me today a special guest. He is our VP of Business Development. His name is Jason Pettit. I'm glad to have him with us today. He's going to be actually going into a lot of the detail on some of these slides that we've got coming up. As we go here, feel free to type in questions in the question box, and we're going to field your questions towards the end of the webinar. But we can see you, Jason. Thanks for joining us today. I appreciate your time, and I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to you.
All right, thanks for having me, Adam. Glad to be here. And just for everyone's information, I've known Adam since we were little kids. I met Adam when we were in the 6th grade. So I've known Adam and the Phillips family for a very long time. And thankfully, I was given the opportunity to join the ABS family about 15 years ago. I was in the mortgage industry. And for those of you who are quick with math, you can probably figure out that was around the 2008 mortgage crisis. So my position evaporated in front of my eyes. So I started talking with Adam and putting my feelers out with different friends and family members for what the next step might be. Certainly didn't want anything to do with mortgage. So anyway, Adam introduced me to American Business Systems. He let me sit in on a training seminar that we had here in Dallas. I got to meet a lot of the ABS owners, and I just kind of fell in love with the concept. It's a low-cost investment opportunity. Our owners are able to get up and running very quickly and start generating revenue very quickly. And I just loved everything about it. And the more I talked with owners, the more I realized the potential of a business like this. So 15 years later, and here we are doing webinars. And today we're going to talk about the financials of a successful medical billing business. But for those of you who have had businesses before, it's very important to make sure that in your business you have a very balanced scenario with both yourself, your customers, and any partners or vendors that you have. In other words, you're not the only person who needs to benefit from your business. There are others that need to benefit too if you're going to have a long-term successful business that survives the ups and downs of the economy. So in order to do this, in order to have a successful company, balanced benefits are necessary for all parties. We want that win-win situation. So it's different for every industry. It's different for every, company profile, different vendors, different customer base and things like that. But for American Business Systems, it's pretty simple. We have a pretty simple model, pretty simple setup. It's basically 4 different parts. Of course, it's American Business Systems that has created the business model and helps our owners become successful and provide these services to private practice physicians. And then there's also the importance of our technology partners, which the primary technology partner is NextGen. We have 12 different services, so we have all kinds of partners. And it's necessary for all of these parts of the puzzle to fit together and for everyone to get benefit. So what holds all of this together? Well, it's money. It's the good old dollar. And it's probably why you're on this webinar today as an attendee. If there wasn't the potential to generate revenue from a company like this, starting a business like this, or from this industry, what would be the purpose of you being on this webinar? It's because there's the potential to earn income and change your current scenario, whether you're moving out of a job that you're frustrated with or tired of, whether you're looking to make more money in a different endeavor, or whether maybe you just always had the dream of owning your own business. It's important to understand what the motivation is here for everyone. We're all trying to make some money. So, oh, hey, Adam, you're back.
Hey.
Would you like to talk just a little bit about our technology partners? Because I mentioned NextGen, which is our kind of premier crown jewel partner that powers our iClaim system and gives tremendous benefits to our owners and the physicians that become their clients. But could you just spend just a moment talking about the other technology partners we have?
Yeah, sure. I'd be happy to. So this is one really, really huge benefit that you have being an owner, an ABS business owner. We've spent a lot of time and effort researching and developing these relationships with all these different technology companies that are out there that have, like I mentioned before, they have some of the top systems in place for all kinds of different services and solutions that you can think of. And a lot of these companies, for you to try to go to these companies directly and partner with them, they wouldn't even give you the time of day, but the benefit for us is we can come to these companies and negotiate because we have hundreds of owners, all over the country. So we have this buying power, if you will, where we can negotiate with these partners. And what they do is they say, yeah, you know what, we realize that ABS has a big, pool of boots on the ground, if you will, to market our products. So they reduce their retail pricing so that our owners can mark up the pricing and make money on all of the different services that we have that you'll read about on the research guide on our website. So for example, NextGen, like we mentioned, they're one of the top rated technology companies in terms of ambulatory care, which is basically systems that go into private practices, medical practices. And so they have an EHR platform, they have a billing practice management platform, they have a built-in telehealth platform. I mean, they have their own clearinghouse rolled into it as well. So it is a really, really cool system. And what they've allowed us to do, as well as most of our other partners, is they've allowed us to rebrand so that you have a unique brand in the market as well. So just talking about some of the other companies, we've recently gotten into the dental market. So I think some of you will be happy to hear that we are in the dental market now. So we've partnered with one of the top companies called Dentamax that you'll read about. We have a new service called Virtual Care, and this is probably number one right now outside of billing as far as what our owners are getting their foot in the door with, because Virtual Care is it's remote patient monitoring, and I don't want to get super technical with that, but basically it allows doctors to monitor patients who can't leave their house for some reason. too old or infirmed or whatever the case may be, and they're stuck at home. And this came in really handy during COVID as well, because there were healthy people that couldn't leave, that were able to leave, but we were locked down. So there's a company that we have called Achieve Health that's the powering the virtual care service, and there's all kinds of other ones that we can get into, but you'll read about more of that on our website, and yeah, I'm happy to answer any questions about the technology partners, but that's kind of how it works.
Yeah, and speaking of questions, I'm sure as we're going through this information, a lot of our attendees are going to have questions about the content. We're going to have a question and answer session at the end, so please do write your questions into the chat box in the control panel, and we will pick those up at the end of the webinar. So we've got some great partners, but the first thing that we want to talk about is the benefits to our ABS owners. So this is critical. I mean, this is important because this is the benefit to you guys. If you choose to launch your business with ABS, how much money can you make? What can you gain? What are the benefits? Well, we're going to go through those now. So,
and that's a real owner, by the way. That's Wendy Bruno out of Ohio. She's doing 7 figures now.
Good catch. Yeah, I meant to mention Wendy's name. Wendy is great. And for those of you who haven't gotten your hands on a copy of our reference list, Wendy's made herself available and can answer questions about the business. So contact your ABS rep and they can help you get their contact information.
For sure.
So, yeah. Some of you may have already browsed our website and found this little corner of our website where the medical billing income calculator is, but if you haven't, all you have to do is go to our main website, absystems.com, and under income potential, the drop-down medical billing income calculator will take you to this little calculator, and you can play around with the numbers and take a look at what types of scenarios are going to generate different levels of income for you. But I'm going to run through a really basic example today. So we're going to kind of dig into some math for a minute here, so don't check out completely as we go through these. But this is really important stuff because you need to make sure you're getting into a business where you can generate the income that you want and where you understand what the possibilities are. So we're going to use an income example from a doctor that has an average monthly revenue of $50,000. So what this means is you're out there marketing, you're connecting with doctors, and you do a proposal for a doctor, and that doctor's average revenue at the time of your proposal is $50,000. What you're going to be able to do from that, and this is the math on how to get to that figure. So a doctor that makes $50,000 a month in revenue would have $2,500 in billable encounters per day. In other words, $2,500 worth of claims per day. And that assumes the doctor's open 20 days per month. And that gives you $2,500 times 50. I think that should actually be 20 days, not 50. Would be $50,000 a month. Typo, that's my fault. So that's how we arrived at that number. $2,500 a day, just about every doctor out there is at least doing that much in billable services. If
that's
you
about
get down
20 patients a day, right? About 20 patients a day, like $125 a claim or something like that. Yeah.
That's exactly right. And that also assumes, like a general practitioner or family medicine doctor, we're not really taking into account physicians who have specialty medicine expertise who may bill much, much more than this on average. But this gives you an idea of what kind of a client you will likely encounter. This would be a pretty good first client to get, and this is about the low end of the income possibilities, would be a doctor in the $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a month range. It can be much higher, but we're trying to be a little bit conservative here. So what does this mean for you, the ABS owner? Well, most of our owners charge between 4 to 8% for their billing service, and that's 4 to 8% of the total claims that you file for the doctor each month, those claim amounts. So you add all the claims up through the month, you apply your 4, 5, 6, 7, 8%, whatever it might be, and that gives you your monthly income from that particular doctor. So in this example, we're using 6% as your billing rate, which is middle of the road. Our owners charge 6% all the time, and that gives you a $3,000 a month income. So again, simple math here, $50,000 in billable revenue from the doctor each month times your 6% billing rate gives you $3,000 a month in income. Pretty straightforward, but I think it's important to understand. So what this means on a yearly basis, you take that same $3,000 a month, you multiply it by 12 months, and now you've got $36,000 a year from one single client scenario. And Adam, do you want to talk just a little bit about what types of clients that we see from our owners as they're getting out there and using our marketing strategies?
Yeah, it kind of ranges all over the place. I mean, obviously, whenever you first start your business and finish the training and graduate and get out there and start talking with folks and building the business, I mean, you're going to be talking to anybody and everybody, right? So, you know, we have people that, you know, sign up chiropractors and a lot of family practice, but we also have owners that have kind of gotten into the specialist arena. And the funny thing is some of our owners just, you know, whatever through their marketing efforts, you know, whatever they end up getting a referral or networking with someone who knows a doctor. And let's say they sign up, you know, their first client maybe is a podiatrist, for example. And then they start doing the billing work for that podiatrist. And then the word gets around pretty quick that you're doing a good job. As long as you're doing a good job, the word is going to get around. And doctors do give referrals. I mean, they love, you know, talking about how their billing company is working really well, because that's kind of an issue right now all over the place. There's a lot of billing companies that have crummy technology, and you know, they're not giving good customer service. So if they have someone in their neighborhood who they know, all right, this is the owner of this billing business, I can call them on their cell phone and get something solved right away. That speaks volumes. So my point is, they're gonna, you know, that this person I'm talking about, they started getting referrals, and all these podiatrists wanted to do business with the billing company. So just through word of mouth, they somehow became a podiatry billing expert, and that's the bulk of their you know, their client base. And an even cooler thing is this is not a franchise, so they started getting, you know, referrals from podiatrists that were all over the country. So they, you know, a lot of their clients are not even in their own state. So in our training, we're going to actually be able to give you some idea on which specialties are the best to go after in terms of, you know, which ones need the most help. You know, family practices need a lot of help because they're not making a lot of revenue right now. We're also going to talk about what specialties work best with our EHR. There's some that work better than others. And actually, podiatry, since I mentioned podiatry, they actually recommend our platform on the Podiatrist Association of America website. We're the #1 recommended platform. So podiatry is a big one, and they make a ton of money on podiatry. The doctors do, and our owners do. So yeah, that's kind of how that works.
I have a friend in the business that I had lunch with a couple of weeks ago, and he was telling me about a new client that he picked up. And you know, when you say the word client, it's not a very qualified word. What does a client even mean? Does that mean a single doctor? Does that mean 10 doctors? Does that mean a network of clinics? So anyway, in his case, client for him meant a 15 doctor group specialty medicine practice, and an absolute monster. So if you do the quick math, 15 doctors, if you're generating a minimum $25,000, we're not even talking $36,000. If you go down to just the bare minimum for each practitioner, 15 doctors, you're going to generate at least $25,000 a year per doctor. Do the quick math. That's between $300,000 and $400,000 a year for one client, right? Yeah. So it's a group, so it's 15 doctors, but it's quite a bit of revenue for ultimately just one marketing effort. And that's not his only client either. So he's generating quite a revenue from a $28,000 investment. So it's one of the things to love about the business. $28,000 to get in, but just one little tiny client will pay that off. you really start to get into the exciting things when you start to get up into group practices and specialty medicine. You start getting referrals to clients in different states, and then the business grows exponentially. We've got some of our owners. We've got a guy who has over 400 clients. He runs a team of over 40 billers. We have a great licensee who she only has one single client, just one client, but it's a 98 doctor group practice. So, sky's the limit, and your skill set and how much effort you put into growing your business, you really can turn this into quite an income opportunity.
Absolutely.
And let's go into a couple of other benefits for ABS owners, because money's great, right? We all love to make money, but money's not everything. You also have quality of life. Money wouldn't matter a whole lot if you were working 80-hour work weeks and could never see your family and never take vacation. Well, thankfully with American Business Systems, that is definitely not the case. So in this one client scenario, you're making around $3,000 a month in income, give or take, depending on specialty medicine or how many patients they see. That one client, again, single doctor client, should be around an hour a day of work. This can vary a little bit based on the type of specialty medicine, how many patients they see, and sometimes you can agree to do other things for that client that may increase that time, but of course you're going to be compensated for that. But around an hour a day is a good rule of thumb for a time budget. So for that single doctor client, most of the doctors are open 5 days a week. That's 5 hours a week, and you're making $3,000 a month, and you can get the wheels turning on how quickly you could build a business where not only could you replace your income, you could gain on your income and make even more, and you're working a lot less than what typically a corporate job would require, where you're in there at least 8 hours a day if you're lucky. Most of us 10, sometimes 12 or more hours a day.
I need to make a comment about this, because you're talking about 1 hour of daily work, which is like, what? How is it only 1 hour? But this is real numbers that we've gotten from our owners that have told us, yeah, once you get the hang of the system, you can literally process a claim in 2 minutes. It's just very, very, very fast. But funny thing, I had a phone call with a lady who was looking into the business this morning, and I just kind of briefly said, yeah, it's a work from home business if you want to and all that. And she said, work? She said, I don't want to work. I want to be an owner. And I said, well, it's funny that you mentioned that, because this model allows you to be whatever you want your role to be in this business. So if you don't feel like you're the kind of person that wants to sit in front of a computer and do the claim work, all the owners that we've been talking about today that are making the big bucks, they've got people doing the work for them. So they are managing these folks, and they are the owners of the business, and they're very hands-on, but they've got other people that are actually sitting in front of the computer doing the technical work. So you don't have to do that. So I just wanted people on this webinar to be aware of that you really can be, if you just want to be the marketing business development person, you can do that. If the same goes for if you're on this webinar and you're thinking, oh, I'm terrified of marketing and sales, I want to be the person in front of the computer. That's fine. We can show you how to hire and train sales reps. We've got a very extensive sales rep program. So you can be whatever you want to be with this business. So it's pretty cool.
No doubt. And that's the difference between different personality types. We have plenty of owners who are totally excited about sitting at home, not managing employees, filing the claims themselves, replacing their income, and having tons of free and flexible time. A lot of people don't want to manage. There's a lot of extra headache sometimes that comes with that. So we have different types of owners, and we're perfectly fine with owners that just want to have a low time commitment, high return on their time that they're utilizing in the business, and can earn a nice income. But if you have a executive management style mindset, and you're able to manage a team and grow a group of really qualified people to help you file the claims and grow the business, then it's even better because you're not in the daily minutia of filing the claims and working directly with the doctors. You're running a team, and we can help you grow a business like that too. To wrap up on this slide, so the quick math here, you know, $3,000 a month, you want a six-figure income. It's 4 clients. I mean, 4 clients, 6-figure income in this business. And that's going to get you knocking on the door of replacing your income with most corporate style jobs. Return on investment. 1 single client pays off the investment in less than 12 months. So in kind of a, what I like to call worst case scenario, you go out there, you do your marketing, it takes you longer than it should to get a client, you're struggling to do it because you kept your regular job because you need the income, you just follow the marketing plan as best you can on the side, you get 1 single client, it's going to cost you 5 hours of work a week, and you're going to increase your income 25 to 35,000 a year. You're going to pay your investment off in year 1. You're going to double your money in year 2. I mean, not too bad for, you know, kind of the low bar of production in a business like this. I mean, the lowest bar possible. So,
yeah, I do have one more thought on this slide. You know, for those of you who don't want to manage and hire other people, and you do kind of want to keep it a smaller thing, this is what I mean. What we're showing you right now is you can have this business paid off, you know, a return on your investment just doing it by yourself. And I would say, you know, if you are planning on doing all the work by yourself, you could probably handle what, maybe 5, 6, maybe 7 doctors, somewhere around there. And that's about it. The reality is that's about it. So if you do want to grow it beyond, you know, 5 or 6 or 7 doctors, you would have to look at having somebody help you with the processing, but you don't have to. I mean, you can keep it at 5 or 6 and you're still making 6 figures and you're working by yourself. So
yeah, that's a great point. Yeah. And, you know, you decide for yourself what kind of owner you want to be, and we'll assist you either way. You want to grow an empire? We're there. We've done it before. We can help you. You want to have a little work from home business where you just get to jump ship on your job that you don't enjoy? That's actually, I would say that's probably the most common scenario for our owners, is they're just, you know, desperately want to get out of their job positions.
yeah.
So those were all the benefits to you as the ABS owner. And again, we're talking about the balance of the benefits between each of the 4 parts of our business model. So the next part that we want to show the benefits for is your potential clients, those physicians. How do the doctors benefit from these services? Well, just like we talked about before, it's money. That's the benefit, increased revenue. So we're going to go back to that $50,000 a month revenue scenario with the doctor. I love using $50,000 a month. It's right about in the average of what our owners see, but makes the math nice and easy since it's a nice round number. So $50,000 a month average revenue. On the doctor's side, we see 20 to 30% increase in revenue almost always with the proposals that our owners give to these doctors. So I want to say that again, 20 to 30% increase in revenue is what we typically see for a doctor. And that happens within 90 days of you taking over the billing for a physician. It's kind of unbelievable. So we're not out there begging for business. We're out there changing doctors' lives. We're out there helping them dramatically increase their revenue. So in this particular scenario, 20% of 50,000 is $10,000. So there's the quick math there. $50,000 a month of revenue times 20% revenue increase. I took the low number instead of 30%, and that's $10,000 a month of increased revenue for the doctor. On a yearly basis, that's $120,000 of yearly increase with that doctor. So you've essentially, what you have done for that physician is you've taken their revenue from $50,000 a month gross to $60,000 a month gross. It's a huge, huge increase in revenue. There's the math, $10,000 a month times 12 months, that's $120,000 of extra income on a yearly basis. And I have to tell a quick story right now. So We don't do live training in Dallas anymore. We had so many people requesting the online training. We actually changed to online training right before the pandemic started. It was just kind of a lucky move for us. We had online training implemented, and we were ready to go. So when things started shutting down and no one could fly anymore, we had an awesome online training program that had already been up and running for about 6 months. But my story is, when we used to do training in person here in Dallas, we would all show up because we're all based here in Dallas. And I remember at the end of one training, our lead instructor, Cynthia Anderson, she's great. She's also on our reference list. So if you'd like to chat with her, feel free to message one of your reps, and we'd be happy to put you in contact with Cynthia. But anyway, we were sitting there talking, and we were kind of cleaning up at the end of the week. And I noticed that she had a sample proposal that she had shown the class down on the table as we were cleaning up. And I just kind of, as we were talking, my eyes kind of went to the bottom line, and the bottom line increase on that proposal was like $115,000. This was years ago. And I said, Cynthia, isn't that a little aggressive to show these new ABS owners such a strong revenue? Shouldn't you just kind of make it a little bit lower just in case they get out there and they, their first client's a chiropractor or something? And she said, no. She said, actually, I've been in business 10 years and I have never given a proposal that had less than a 6-figure increase in revenue for the doctor. I mean, that's a pretty powerful thing to be able to say. You've been in business for 10 years and every single client you've given a proposal to has had a 6-figure increase in revenue. Now, of course, not every client you give a proposal to becomes a client. That's a strong thing to be able to say.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, there's probably people sitting on this webinar thinking, how in the heck is that even possible? And there's a lot of reasons. And, it starts with having technology that, I don't want to get too detailed on you, but basically we have technology that verifies the person's demographic information, their name and address, and all their insurance information. We also instantly check their eligibility before they come in for their visit on their insurance. We also double check their insurance and re-verify it 24 hours prior to the patient coming in for their appointment. And then we can verify again right before the claim gets submitted. We can go out and re-verify to make sure, okay, this person is covered and all of their demographic information is correct. So we have features in place that a lot of doctors do not have and they're not doing. And this is why they're seeing a revenue increase. This is part of the reason. The other reasons are we're able to go after their old AR. We're able to help them, bring in revenue from that, from all different areas. So there's a lot of different reasons why, but it's absolutely true. We are seeing huge increases in their revenues because of the technologies and stuff that we have in place. So
that's another great point. And for all of those attending today, if you have not had a software demo of our iClaim platform from your ABS rep, by all means, send an email, book a demo with your rep, because it's very difficult to understand how our owners are able to deliver these kinds of results if you don't see the software in action. In fact, I would say it's virtually impossible. We can talk on webinars all day long about the results that we're able to achieve, but until you actually see the software and the features and all the different ways that we tighten things up with the doctor and their staff and all the processes we help improve, it's really difficult to understand how you can achieve 6-figure increases in revenue for these doctors. So get a demo from your rep. But to get back on track here, so we're talking about doctor benefits. Your clients, how do they benefit? $10,000 a month of increased revenue with just a 20% increase in your proposal. And we do this all the time. But wait a minute, American Business Systems. Adam, I showed Adam this slide deck ahead of time, and he laughed out loud on this one. So the doctor's making $10,000 a month, but they don't get to keep all of that money, right? Of course not. It's a pay-to-play scenario. If you're helping someone increase their revenue, $100,000 a year, you better believe you're going to take a piece of it. So here's how that works. $10,000 a month of additional gross revenue. Remember, we took that doctor from $50,000 a month. 90 days later, now the new average monthly revenue is $60,000 a month. The doctor doesn't get to keep all of that though. Remember, you've got to get paid too. So you're going to take your $3,000 out. Now that's $3,000. That's 6% of all of the claims. I used a round number here because 6% of 60,000 is not $3,000, but we're keeping the numbers round just to show the example. It's a little more conservative too. But that $10,000 gets split 70-30. $7,000 goes back to the doctor, free and clear net profit. $3,000 goes into your bank account for providing the service. Now, that's $84,000 a year for the doctor, so we want to be transparent and honest. They don't get the full $100,000 in that scenario, and that's $36,000 in income for you. So anything you want to add to that, Adam?
Just wanted to add, you know, you're getting paid on a percentage of what the doctor ultimately gets paid back from the insurance companies. And you do get a piece of the revenue from the patient portion as well, which is smaller. But it's important because that's actually a really good selling point for you as an owner. You can tell a doctor, look, we are going to go to bat for you and make sure that these claims are filed in a timely manner and filed properly and all the information on them is correct the first time, because whatever you end up getting paid on those claims, we get paid a percentage of that. So they're not always going to get paid, you know, the full billable amount or whatever, for whatever reason, a lot of different reasons. But they've got people working in their offices. A lot of doctors are trying to still do their billing in their offices with staff. And these people, these staff people, you know, various levels of education and certification, and some of them are very underqualified. Some of them have got a lot of other things going on that, you know, billing is just one small thing that they've got to take care of. And they make a salary that doesn't change based on the performance of the claims. So they're not very motivated to really work those claims and make sure that they're done right the first time. So that's your selling point is, you know, we're going to bat for you. So I just wanted to make that point there. So
for sure. Yeah. Dr. Smith, do you like money? I know you do. That's a great selling point as well. So let's talk about now behind the scenes. So very clear benefits to our American Business Systems owners, very clear benefits to the physicians, huge increases in revenue. But what's in it for us? What's in it for our technology partners like NextGen and for American Business Systems? Because, you know, we're good guys, we're friendly and nice, and, you know, we love working with people, but we've got to feed our families too. So everybody needs to make some money here. Well, here's how that part of it works. With NextGen, the doctor pays a $254 monthly subscription. That's it. That's all they pay to NextGen. And that gives them full access to all the bells and whistles in the platform. It's per doctor, it's not per user. So the receptionist and office manager and the other staff in their office, they all get to use the system for that $254 a month. So it's very affordable. Most of the time, the doctor's going to pay for that $254 monthly subscription. And, you know, that's going to come out of their $8,000 worth of profit or $7,000 worth of profit each month. So they couldn't care less about that. So clear benefit to NextGen. It's a multi-million-dollar revenue channel for them. And they have the benefit of our army of ABS owners who are out there in local markets, making friends with doctors and networking and providing these solutions, boots on the ground. And they don't have to have an enormously expensive sales team, you know, out there, you know, trying to market in these doctors' offices, which is enormously expensive. So they have a tremendous benefit. And by the way, they're an amazing partner. NextGen is awesome, best system on the planet. We got lucky because they acquired our prior partner, Health Fusion, and we just got to go along for the ride. So we're partnered up with the best of the best of the best. And Adam, you have a little more to do with that than I do. So if you want to add something to our NextGen partnership, feel free.
Yeah, I mean, we've loved being partnered with one of the biggest companies in the country. They have so many resources to help our owners with closing deals and training. I mean, we didn't even talk about the fact that whenever you sign a client, ABS and NextGen together, we take care of all of the training and implementation for your new clients. That's something that you don't even have to do. I mean, so that right there is such a huge value in being, a part of ABS. It's just crazy. And all of our partners are like that. They're very, very hands-on with training you on using the system, training your clients on the system. I did want to just real briefly touch on the $254 monthly subscription. I wanted to let you know that typically best practices are you're simply building that into your invoice to the doctor. So I wanted you to be aware. First of all, that you don't pay anything at all. There's nothing that you pay if you don't have any clients. But when you have a client, typically you're just going to be invoicing the doctor that 6% or 7% or whatever the case may be. And then when the doctor pays you that invoice, then basically, we recommend that you pay the $254 out of what the doctor's, paying you. So you're basically building it in, it's a pass through to the doctor. So I just wanted you to know that's not really, we show you how to have it just not coming out of your pocket as like an expense, really. It's just the doctors are ultimately, if you think about it, they're the ones that are paying for the software. And there's different ways to do it, but that's what we recommend that you do. And then, what you really want is you want a company like ABS that has some skin in the game. And, we make a little bit of money off of, when you sign up doctors, we make a little bit of money from NextGen, a small piece of that 254. And, that's why we are able to provide you with so much resources in terms of helping you with the marketing and the back end, the training and the support and all that good stuff. You want a company that has a vested interest, and we have a vested interest in your success. We want you signing up doctors because we make money when you do. And that's also why we don't double dip and charge you any royalty fees. There's 0 royalty fees with this business. There are no ongoing support fees. We actually support you for the life of your business. We support you for free because we are making that little piece from some of our technology partners. So again, it's a win-win-win-win. It's a quad win. Quadruple win.
Quadruple win. Yeah, and also we can't overstate this webinar. It's not really about our technology. This isn't really a technology webinar. But when it comes time for you to deliver on that technology to your new client, the doctor, you better believe it's important to have a really strong technology partner. And you basically have two. You have the strength of NextGen support team and just a best-in-class software platform, and you have the strength of our ABS support team, which is amazing, super passionate people that are extremely knowledgeable. Everybody on our support team runs their own ABS business as well, and that's the way we want it. We don't want some instructors that don't understand the business, that are reading off of a manual. We want people who know how to run this business because they are running the business and can give you really good advice and suggestions. So just to kind of recap over what we've done here, we're looking at the benefits across the board for all 4 parties involved in the ABS business model. So we started with the income potential to our owners. There's loads of other benefits, but pretty nice to be able to make an executive level income with 4 or 5 clients. Great benefits to the doctor. The cornerstone benefit is massive revenue increase, typically 20 to 30% increase in revenue. Then we've got the monthly subscription that is a huge revenue channel for NextGen. And then of course, we just talked about ABS getting a small piece of that. And that's what sort of powers our company as we provide good training and support. So we do have a win-win-win-win scenario with the 4 parties there, and we're proud to be a part of it. And it's something that we've built over more than 27 years, and we're happy to have you guys attend the webinar today and come on board. Adam, I don't know if we have any questions there. I can't see the questions on my end, but we'll probably take questions here in just a minute. Do we have questions coming in so far?
Yeah, we've got a handful, and then they're starting to come in now. So
okay, perfect. So we've got about 10 minutes to wrap up the webinar. So I'm going to go through one last little sort of nugget of information just so everybody knows the resources that we have for you as you research the business, and then we'll take some questions. So if you've got questions, start typing them in right now. Okay, so we've prepared a due diligence process to help you research this business model, and your American Business Systems rep can help walk you through these steps. So whoever you're working with, shoot them an email, and if you see something on this list here on the left that you have not done yet, then they can help guide you to where these are. So the first thing is the research guide, and Adam talked about this in the very beginning of the session. The research guide can be found. I'm going to risk everything and go way back in the presentation. So the research guide can be found right there. Click the button. Also, any email that you receive from an ABS rep, there should be a link in the signature that'll take you to, this is kind of a secret trick. In the signature of any ABS rep, there should be a link to go to the virtual brochure where you can download that research guide. Our YouTube channel is incredible. We've been doing this for almost 3 decades. We have hundreds and hundreds of hours of webinars like this, topical webinars, owner interviews. So check out our YouTube channel. You can easily find that link at the top of our website. We'd also be happy to provide a list of references. We talked about some of our owners today on the webinar. You can definitely get with your rep and they can give you a long list of owners who will speak with you. We mentioned this too. If you haven't had an iClaim demo, you need to do a demo. You need to see the system in action so you can really get a feel for how we're able to deliver on these increases in revenue and productivity increases for the doctors as well. Then if you've been looking at ABS for a while and you think, man, I think this is what I might want to do, the last step is the purchase agreement, and we'd be happy to send it over to you and let you look at it. It's a simple 4-page document. We use a document signing service, so it's just a couple of clicks to sign up, and then we process your funding, and we get your first training session picked, your date picked, because you're doing your training online with Cynthia. So your rep will help coordinate the funding and training as well. The last thing I want to mention, we kind of touched on this, but I just want to hit it one more time. We are the only franchise type system on the planet that offers an unconditional 30-day, 100% money back guarantee. We give you a full 30 days to go through the training, get access to support. We ship the business package out to you with the marketing materials and all the goodies in it. If for any reason during your first 30 days from your investment, if you decide this is not a good fit for you, we're going to give you the full refund of your $27,990 right back in your pocket. We're happy to do that. We don't get very many refund requests, but every once in a while, you figure out that it's not quite the right thing for you and your family, or something changes, and we're happy to be able to part as friends instead of going into a combatant, type scenario. So, Adam, let's open it up for questions, and be happy to get some of those answered.
All right, good stuff. All right, let's do it. So we've got a question. Deanne is asking, is the $28K the only payment I saw somewhere that was a month, or is there a monthly operational expense for software use? So I think we just covered that on one of those slides previously, and kind of told you how we could build that into your invoice to the doctor. So if you need more clarification, let me know on that. Let's see, she also says, do the ABS owners have a community to share info and best practices? That's a good question. So,
good question.
Yeah, so we actually have a private Facebook group and a private LinkedIn group as well. So you can, when you become an owner, you can join those and share information in community. So yeah, good question there. Let's see, our doctors, Michelle is asking, are doctors required to use the next gen software? You want to take that one?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. So no, the easy answer is the doctors are not required to use the iClaim platform. Now, the secret behind the scenes is if your potential client gets a demo of the software, over half of the doctors that do a demo of the platform move forward with an implementation of the system. I'm going to say that again, because for any of you guys who are in sales and marketing, if you have over a 50% closing ratio of your demo, in your sales process, I mean, that's unheard of. So the way we position this is we say, we encourage our owners to say it like this. You don't have to change software. You can keep your system if you want. But there are a lot of benefits to our platform. And in fact, you're probably going to increase your revenue more if you're using our platform. So would you at least just take a look at it? You don't have to use it, but just take a look at it and see if the features and benefits are compelling enough for you to want to do an implementation yourself. And over half of the doctors that do that demo move forward. The only other thing that I want to say about this, and this is incredibly important, you only do a demo with the doctor after you've given a proposal, because the proposal is what gets the doctor excited. Why are we on this webinar today? We want to make money, right? That's the same for the doctor. They don't care about your software. They don't care how nice you are or how good of a builder you are. None of that matters. But if you can put $10,000 in their pocket a month, I'm sorry, $7,000, $8,000 in their pocket a month, then all of a sudden you have their attention. So we want to demonstrate the financial benefits first, and then we want to get them on the demo. But no, they do not have to use the platform to answer your question. We can also do what we sometimes refer to as a hybrid implementation. In a lot of cases, we can plug our software into the doctor's software, and so it's kind of a best of both worlds. But some of our owners, they will do the processing on any system the doctor chooses. So that's a question that, you make that decision as far as how you want to run your business. We would recommend using iClaim if it's possible, because the benefits are extremely strong.
Yeah, and I don't know if you just mentioned this, but basically all of the numbers that we showed you, all the benefits that we showed you on the webinar today, you have to be using the system that we have. You have to be using the next gen system. You're going to get all kinds of varied results with other systems, but there are definitely scenarios where you don't have to twist the doctor's arm or force them to use something that they're not ready to use. Sometimes they're locked into some other software contract and they want to switch, but they just need to wait out the contract. I mean, there's a lot of different scenarios there. So we can show you how to do business with a doctor regardless of the system. That's the bottom line. Yeah. Sal is asking, how do we get hands on the software demo? Yeah, Sal, we just mentioned that. If you get back to, you should have received some type of webinar invitation from, I mean, honestly, it's Jason or myself. We have another rep, Nevin, probably one of us. If you don't know who your rep is, which there's another question, how do we find out who our rep is? You can simply call our 800 number. Just call 866, that number right there on the slide, 565-8413, and they can help you figure out who your rep is and get that squared away. So we can, they'll send you a link. The rep will send you a link to book a demo on their calendar, and it takes about an hour, and there's full interaction with questions and answers and all kinds of stuff for you there. So definitely do that.
And the way to find your rep, go to your inbox and look at the emails you've gotten from ABS. Your rep signature should be on at least one of those emails. Somewhere in your ABS emails, you should see your rep signature.
And Deanne says, oh yeah, it's you, Adam. All right.
Congratulations, Adam.
Call me. All right.
Yeah.
So Mike is asking, can I put this on more than one credit card? Yes, we accept credit cards, we accept cash, we accept gold bars, wires. No, I mean, there's a lot of people that really, I mean, this is a lot of money. I mean, let's be real. This is a lot of money. This is a big investment. So we do have a lot of people that have some of that money saved up, in cash. They put some of it on credit cards, 2 or 3 credit cards even. They borrow from friends or family, and they kind of hustle and do whatever they have to do to put it together to make it happen. So yeah, so whatever payment method you need to do, we can work with you on that. And Mike is also asking, do I have to do my own demos for prospects? No, that's another thing that we do for you. Not only are we doing all the back end, training and implementation and stuff, but we are also doing the front end demos for your potential clients. So, if you get a demo from one of your ABS reps, that's going to be a really good one. But guess what? The demos that we do for your doctors are expert demo team people on the next gen team. So you're going to get an even better demo someone who knows the system inside and out and can answer all the doctor's technical questions and show them the really cool features that they're going to care about and get them excited about it. So yeah, good question. That's what we do for you.
I want to add on here. It is one of the biggest benefits of partnering with American Business Systems and with NextGen. The demo team is incredible. They take the information that you gather to deliver the proposal to the doctor, and they give a customized demo that addresses very specifically that particular doctor's problems that they're having in their office. And we all know how this works. If you can solve enough problems for someone, all of a sudden it looks a lot better to move over to a different system, because some of these systems are very clunky to use, and we can provide major benefits. Adam, we just crossed the top of the hour. We're a minute after. Any more questions you want to field there?
No, that pretty much covers it. We did not put this slide deck in the handouts. If you want to review it for some reason, we can certainly provide that. It's not available for download here, but again, get back to your rep. If you want the slide deck, we can send you a PDF of that if you need to, because someone mentioned that. So that's it.
Perfect. Well, thanks for having me, Adam.
Yeah, thanks for being on, Jason. I really appreciate it. I know you got a busy schedule there, so thank you very much. And guys, we do these every week, every Wednesday, same time. So hopefully you can sign up for next week, and we'll see you then.
Great. See you,
all right, bye everybody.